viewers, I'm back and today I'll be reading and vlogging all day long. It's been a while since I recorded a reading vlog, but yesterday I got a book mail, so I thought maybe I should. Now, I've already opened this mail and the book that I've got is The Moment of Intimacy, collection of short stories by Deba Jyoti Gupta. This book is sent to me by Fave Bookshelf and I don't know anything about it. I looked it up on Amazon and Goodreads, but it hasn't been reviewed by anyone yet. And all I know about it is that it's a collection of short stories which is based in Northeast India. I sadly haven't read much from the northeastern region of India. I've read a few stories from this book. Peace Has Come by Parismita Singh, but it has been so long that I don't even remember much, and this is going to be my second book. Literature from northeast India is quite underrepresented, and I honestly don't know anything about that region, let alone their literature, but I will soon try to learn a little bit more. Anyways, back to the book. Like I said, I couldn't find much about this book online other than this blurb, and I don't judge a book by its blurb, but I do judge a book by its cover. And just look at this cover. I mean, it's really cute. It's giving me a cozy, comfy, romancy vibe. So let's read the book and find out how it actually is. So I'm reading the very first story from this book and I came across this line. When you will meet that girl, she will inspire you to fall in love until your every sense is touched by her. You inhale her, you taste her. You can see your unborn child in her eyes, and at last your heart has found a home to live. Your life begins with her, and without her it surely ends. Now, these are not the most beautiful lines I've read in a book, but it's a very beautiful rainy morning and it's drizzling very lightly. So yeah, I mean it these lines are really making me feel good, and the rain has like started, so I think it's time to run inside. Alright, so I've completed almost 50% of this book. It's a really short read, as you can see. The font size is quite big and the language isn't tough at all. And I'm currently reading third story from this book, and another line that I thought I should share is, you can't erase the past, no matter how hard you want to. So she made this choice. We all make choices. The hard part is living with them. So I just had breakfast and it's still raining outside, and I'm about to finish the fourth story, and I came across this line. In life, we keep meeting new people and new stories are made, and with each new experience, we understand things a little more, a little better. True, isn't it? Okay, I'm done with this book in just a few hours. I could have finished it in one sitting if I wanted to, but it's fine. So now let's take a break so that my thoughts get organized, and then I'll write a decent review of this book and share with you all. Alright, let's start the review. The Moment of Intimacy is probably the first collection of short stories written by Deba Jyoti Gupta. There are total 6 stories in this book which are set in Northeast India. All the stories are set in Assam University and discusses the life of students studying in a small town university, particularly those who spend their time at the university hostel. This book made me realize how little I know about the northeastern region of India. I learned a little bit about Assam, its condition, weather, people, festivals, and the communal conflicts. Although I would have loved to learn a little bit more because these things are only slightly mentioned in these stories. Mostly these stories are about growing adolescents of that region who have come from different states and cities and belong to different communities to study at the Assam University, and the difficulties they face, the relationships they make, and how they cope with life and the problems that they come across is all this book about. Let's talk about each story individually. The very first one is Echoes from the Lake and is about a young man, Dave, who meets a random girl named Adriana near the lake who he thinks is trying to commit suicide. They become friends, then lovers, but then she leaves one day abruptly. To know why, read the book. The second story is titled One Evening. It's a murder mystery about a studious innocent boy, Devarun, who befriends a beautiful Russian girl online named Natasha, but one day Natasha gets murdered while talking to Devarun on webcam. After some time, a professor from Moscow University gets invited as a special guest and Devarun recognizes him as Natasha's murderer. And to know what happens next, read the book. The third one is Arun's Silence, which talks about social taboo and their psychological impacts on young minds. It's about a young boy Arun who is disturbed and quiet ever since he have come back from his hometown. Everyone's worried, and then a professor of psychology tries to find out the reason of Arun's silence and help him. The fourth one is titled Sam, Are You There? The story is mainly about a strange alcoholic man, Sam, who helps a random university student with his assignment and how a relationship is built between these two strangers and where it leads them both. This story also mentions the historical conflicts and their impact on young adults as they get attacked by the older adults for their individuality and the community they are born and raised into. So I guess it's not just happening here, it's happening everywhere. The fifth story is titled The Moment. It's about two young kids, Dev and Priya, who gets carried away in a world of movement and then they face its consequences. And the last one is titled The Autumn of Desire. It's about mismatched relationships and their consequences. All 6 stories in here are tragic love stories with a bittersweet ending written from a man's POV, and almost all of them are set in Assam University's boys hostel, or there is a mention of it. So obviously there are a few slangs in here and lots of dirty talks and double meaning jokes which probably boys find funny cause I didn't. Also a trigger warning, it is an adult fiction and almost all the stories have sex scenes, so if you are not comfortable reading them like me, then you may not like this book much. If I talk about the writing, one can clearly see that English is not author's first language. He needs to work a lot more and a lot harder. Also, there are many mistakes in this book. Looks like the publisher just printed out the pages, attach a pretty cover to it and send it to the market. Do they not even read the final draft of the book they are publishing? There are spelling mistakes, typing errors, full stops and commas are missing, and I never realized they were so important before I read this book. There are wrongly constructed sentences and the lines are repeated over and over and over again in each and every story. This book needs a lot of editing right now. I hope that will be done in the future editions. So I guess I've talked enough as it's a really short read. There is no point discussing it in detail, otherwise I'll end up telling you everything or give away spoilers, which nobody wants. So if you want to read the book, it's available on almost every major online bookstore. And that's it. So thank you so much for watching my video, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time with a new video. Till then, take care of yourself and goodbye.